All right. Page 39. Um, Federal Rail Administration Track Rail Infrastructure Integrity Compliance Manual, Volume 2, Track Safety Standards, Chapter 1, Track Safety Standards, Class 1 through 5. For example, the proposed cant deficiency is 5 inches super elevation U for the demonstrated compliance with the paragraph. There is also 5 inches. The requirement that the paragraph D may be met with either static or dynamic testing. The static lean testing limits from the vertical wheel loading remaining of the raised wheel of the roll of the passenger car body to respect the horizontal plane with thresholds maintained above. Dynamic testing limits the steady state vertical wheel loading remaining on the low rail wheels not less than 60% of the static level values, limiting the lateral acceleration passenger car to 15.15 G steady state of the vehicle operated with the curve of the purpose cant deficiency of 15.15 G's steady state lateral acceleration, limiting of the dynamic testing intended provided with the contingency of an 8.6 degree roll limit of the static lean test with corresponding with the lateral acceleration passenger would experience the standing vehicle with the car body rolled to 8.6 degrees respective of the horizontally. Measurement supplemental research indicated by the steady state with the car body lateral acceleration limit of the 0.15 g, but considered the maximum steady state lateral acceleration, which above the jolts have vehicle dynamic response track deviations can represent the hard passenger safety, while the other FRA vehicles interaction safety critical principle address external safety hazards that may cause derailment, such as a damage to track structure, other conditions that a wheel rail interferes steady state with the car body with the lateral acceleration limit is specifically addressing the safety of the inter occupant environmental steady state car body lateral extension will result in lateral force build passenger on one side of the car body is not the same as sustained with the car body lateral acceleration. Acceleratory acceleration continues side to side oscillation hunting of the car body the response track conditions which could exist on both curved and tangent tracks. 5.7e. The track owner of the railroad shall transmit the result of the training and testing specified with the paragraph D of the section FRA associated administrative with the railroad safety officer. FRA requests approval of the vehicle type of the operator's desired curving speeds allowed for the formula in paragraph B of the section. The request should be made with the written containing with the minimum following information: the description of vehicle type, including the schematic diagrams, the suspension system, and the estimated location from the center of gravity of the top of the rail. This procedure, including local condition under the testing, was performed, and description instrumentation used to qualify the vehicle type as well as maximum value of the wheels, unloading, roll angles, and acceleration that were observed during the testing, and 3. Vehicle not a subject of Part 229 or 238 with the chapter procedure for the standard the effect of the remaining for the all safety critical component of the suspension system, particular vehicle type system, safety critical component suspension system at those that impact significant influence on the roll of the car body and the distribution of the weight of the wheels. Guidance. The paragraph clarifies the submittal requirements for the FRA to obtain approval for qualifying cant deficiency of the vehicle type of the loading condition under which the test is performed required, but included the description and test procedure of the paragraph requires submitting the suspension system maintaining the information. Vehicle type is not subject to the Title 49 CFR Part 238 and 229 as such. Freight car operating on the freight train with requirements submitting some submission system maintenance information on safety critical components. Footnote 4 specifies the more detailed information with the cant deficiency required when SD7D1 is satisfied through the static lean test. 57F. If approved with the request made with the pursuant to paragraph E of the section, the FRA imposes them the condition necessary to safety operating higher curving speed, but the FRA approval of the request for the track owner railroad should not notify in writing not less than 30 calendar days prior to the proposed implementation. Approved of the higher curve speeding allowed under the formula in paragraph B of the section. Notification shall contain the minimum identification of the track segment of the high curving speeds that are being implemented. Guidance. The paragraph requires that the track owner railroad notify the FRA prior to the implementation approve of the higher curving speed. The paragraph also clarifies that approving the request made by the pursuant paragraph E of the FRA imposed the input conditions necessary for the safety operating high curving speeds. When the FRA is approved with a high level of the unbalanced debate, it becomes inoperative for the inspector monitoring maximum authorized speed based on the approved unbalanced and the calculation minimized authorized speed. Particular segment of the track involved substitution approved unbalanced in the VMAX formula. For example, the FRA approved the 5 inches of the cant deficiency particular state of equipment maximum curve space speed of 6 degree curve segment of 1 and 4.5 inches of the elevation will be calculated as follows. Vmax is equal to EA plus EU divided by 7 thousandths of D, or 4.5 plus 5 divided by 0.7 thousandths times 6, 47 miles per hour. To determine the enforcement action necessary for the inspector to determine the unbalance on the speed of the railroad operating around the curve and the actual track condition. In order to calculate the unbalance, the inspector must solve the following formula. Same Vmax formula represented with a different form. EU is equal to 0.7 thousandths times D times Vmax squared equals EA. For example, the railroad operating around with a curve of the 89 miles per hour, the inspector determined the field measurement, the average curvature, the average elevation, particular curve segment of 2¼ degrees and 5½ inches respectively. The unbalance was calculated as follows. The EU is equal to 7/10 thousandths times D times Vmax squared E or minus EA equals 7/10 thousandths times 2.25 times 89 squared minus 5.5 and 6.95 inches. Alright, in the example, the operating speed has resulted in the cant deficiency of 6.9 inches, but they 1.9 inches over the approved level of the 5 inches of the mentioned guidance for the 57B. But the inspector should consider recommendations. Civil penalty vehicles have been approved with the FRA curving speed producing more than the approved level, but not exceeding more than 1 inch. Inspectors must consider the written defect according to the guidance of 57B. The following figure illustrates the relationship between the curvature and elevation speed. Alright, 62 feet is your chord example. The 1 inch main chord offset 1 degree, unbalanced when speeding. 3 speed, average curvature is 0.875, average elevation. Also, your negative 0.5 is elevation 6.25. The main chord offset inches 1 inch degree 1 and 1 4 5 a half inch of the 8.75 is 8.75 degree 3 5 a half inch elevation 1 inch main chord offset 1 inch more main chord offset, and then negative 2 0.375 offset is 0.857 1 0.75 0 2.50 6.25 1 0.33 8.75 Alright, sorry about the small delay. 10 point plus occurrence during 11 point total 11 average. Your average elevation is 0.439. Approved unbalanced average curvature. Note 31 inches chord. Each 1/4 inch degree equals 1 degree. Five 7G. The documents require that section must be provided with the FRA of the track owner. The railroad provides service of the same vehicle type of the track as one or more track owners with written consent effect each effect of the track owner. Guidance. The paragraph states that the track owner railroad operated with the Amtrak or other communicated railroads provides servicing over the track as more than one track owner of the same vehicle type that provided with the required documents to the FRA. However, the operator must have the consent of each of the track owner by allowing the operator to submit the documents. The FRA eliminates the potential multiple submissions for the same vehicle type. Paragraph is identical to the others in Statute 213-329G of Subpart G, counterpart of the Section 213-345I. Alright, 57H1. Vehicle type permitted with the FRA to operate the cant deficiency EU greater than 3 inches but no longer more than 5 inches of the considerably qualified owner of the section to operate those permitted cant deficiency in any track segment. The owner of the railroad shall notify track FRA rating with no less than 30 calendar days prior to the proposed information such that the curving speed in accordance with paragraph F of the section. Vehicle types permitted with the FRA to operate with the cant deficiency EU greater than 5 inches shall be considered qualified under the section to operate the permitted with the cant deficiency only with the previously operated and identified track segment. Guidance. The paragraph concerns vehicle type that previously permitted with the FRA to operate with the cant deficiency EU greater than 3 inches. The paragraph H1 states that these vehicles previously approved with the FRA to operate with the cant deficiency EU between 3 to 5 inches of the considered qualified under the section. Operate approved cant deficiencies in the track segment with the rationale to allow the portability requirements of the section steady state and do not directly reflect the local vehicle and the track interaction. Nonetheless, the provision paragraph H1 required with the written notice to provide for the effort not less than 30 calendar days prior to the proposal implementation for the curving speed on the track segment in accordance with the paragraph F of the section of the notice intended to notify the track new track segment C so that the FRA is aware of the proposed operation to ensure the appropriate permission have been provided for and administrative requirements for the rule. However, the provision in paragraph H2 restricts the portability of the can deficiency qualification vehicle type as permitted by the FRA to operate the can deficiency EU greater than 5 inches operation can deficiency greater than 5 inches over the track segment must be newly qualified in accordance with the rule consistent additional requirement safety operation can deficiency greater than 5 inches 579 if the vehicle is intended to operate with any curving speed producing more than 5 inches for the can deficiency following provision for the subpart G of this part shall apply with the statute 213 333A and A through G and J1 K M and 213 345 and 213 369. Guidance for the paragraph applied for the operation of the can deficiency greater than 5 inches. The requirements for the operation more than 5 inches of the can deficiency apply with all the classes of the track. The requirements are specified in the statute 213.3333. Automatic vehicle-based inspection system paragraphs A through G, J1, K, M, and 213.345. The vehicle track system qualification 213.369. Inspection records paragraph F with the requirements briefly summarized below for the complete guidance of 213.333. For the provisions of the subparagraph G, please volume 2 of the chapter for this manual subpart 213.333A1 require the track geometry measurement system or TGMS to be operated for class 1 through the 5 through the support of the can deficiency operation more than 5 inches. The frequency of the track geometry measurement system inspections are at least twice per calendar year with no less than 128 days between inspection. Section 213.333B through E lists the track geometry measurement system criteria for the statute 213.333F continues to require track owner within 2 days after the track geometry measurement system inspection field verifying institute remedial action for all such exemptions classes for this track. The section 213.333G requires the track owner railroad maintain a copy of the exception report required of the track geometry measurement system inspection. Section 213.333J1 requires the vehicle having dynamic response characteristics representative of other vehicles assigned the service to be operated over the route of that revenue speed profile. The vehicle shall be mounted with the car body acceleration on board and mounting system at least once each calendar quarter. Section 213.333K describes the requirements of mounting car body lateral vertical acceleration track frame. Lateral acceleration 213.333M requires the track owner railroad maintain a copy of the most recent exemption and records for the inspection under paragraph 333J, K, and L. Alright, 57J, as used in this section, vehicles meaning the locomotive defined in statute 229F5 with the chapter the freight car is defined with the 215.5 with the chapter passenger car with the defined in 238.5 with the for any of the railing equipment used for the train with each of the freight car and the passenger car vehicle type of the mission means likewise variation of physical properties such as the suspension mass, interior arrangement, and dimensions that do not result in significant change of dynamic characteristics. Paragraph J clarifies the vehicle and vehicle type of the paragraph. Particularly important to determine the vehicle and subject of the qualification requirements of this section. For example, the vehicle type for the modified primary springs to improve the performance at different speeds may consider a new vehicle type and subject to the qualification requirements of this section. 213.59 elevation of the curved track runoff. The 59A with the curve, the elevation, full elevation must be provided throughout the curve unless the physical conditions do not permit the elevation runoff of the curve. The actual minimum of the elevation should be used for the computing maximum allowable posted timetable operating speed for that curve. The statute 213.57B. Guidance: whenever to determine whether the curved track is in compliance with the track safety standards, inspectors should consider 213.57, 59, and 63 in conjunction with one another. Because of the language of 213.59 explanatory nature of the intertwined with the requirements of statute 213.57 and 213.63, the section should not stand alone in support of the alleged violation. The FRA inspector should cite either statute 213.57 and or 213.63, whichever is most applicable. 59B, the elevation runoff shall be a uniform rate with the limits of the track surface deviation prescribed in statute 213.63, shall extend the least of the vowel length of the spiral, and physical conditions do not permit the spiral long and accommodated with the minimum length of the runoff. Part of the runoff may be in the tangent track. Guidance: it is to consideration respective of the runoff to include the following. The elevation begins with the body with the curvature ran through the point of the curved spiral leads least average elevation existing body curve will govern with allowable operating maximum speed through the full curve. Evaluation angle of the curves between segments of the compound curves must be a uniform rate with a limit that the tracks over the deviation prescribed in the table under Statute 21363. Particular attention must be given to the prescribed limit. The difference in cross level between any 2 points less than 62 feet apart with the spirals. In physical conditions do not permit a spiral long enough to accommodate with the minimum length of the runoff. The run may be carried under the tangent in circumstances of the surface table parameters in Statute 21363 govern. The actual minimum elevation, actual degree of the curvature determined using the average techniques described in Statute 21357. The following figure illustrates the railroad can reduce super elevation and body over the curve, accommodating high road rail grade crossings and unqualified equipment in 3 inches unbalanced. Alright, 31 stations, 6 stations, 186 feet, and a half inch per station, tangent spiral. Half inch per station, 40-degree curve, 40 miles an hour, spiral curve, 3 foot, 186 spiral to curve, 1.5 inch balance, 3 inches unbalanced, 3 inch, 1/2 inch, 3 inches, 31 station, 3 stations, 93 inches, 1/2 inch per station, highway rail grade crossing. 21363. Alright, 21363 track surface 63A, express above there, paragraph B of the section each of the track owner shall maintain the surface of the track with the limits prescribed in the following table. Track surface inches run off of the 31 feet of the rail end of the raise may be not more than